Hey, all you little dummies out there. This is the head, big, cold blooded dummy. What we got going on here today, guys? We got us a new video on the Triumph Speed Quadruple. Anyways, guys, check this out. We got our new custom California license plates. So, what we're doing on the bike today is we're putting new brakes on. Hey, Red, what are we doing today? Yeah, Daddy, we're putting on new brakes. Okay, so guys, check this out. So we decided to put on wave rotors, front and rear, and we're using EBC sintered brake pads, front and rear. Okay, and another thing we did was we took off the little fork protectors and we added these fork gaiters. Okay, let me move the light so we can see better. Okay, guys, what we did was we took these off, and we did that last night, and we put new brakes on the front. Okay. Now, the brakes for the Speed 4 and for the Daytona 675, they're identical. The rotors, front and rear, are identical. Now, the pads are different. But on the Daytona 675, we went with the Galfer rotors. Okay, see that right there? Galfer. And the Galfer rotors are very high quality, but they're expensive. You're looking at $300 a piece for the fronts, and the rear is $150. So what I decided to do was I went with a Chinese brand for the Speed 4, and the two fronts and the rear was only $200. Now, I tested it out last night, and they are amazing. This bike absolutely stops on a dime. And the reason why I wanted to try these out, because I've heard, other people using them, and they don't have any issues. And the bolt pattern, everything lined up exactly perfect. I mean, how can you really go wrong? They're made, on a CNC. So unless the guy was drunk that day, you really can't go wrong. So what I ended up doing was I took all this apart last night, cleaned everything. The calipers were in excellent condition. Just cleaned everything real good and put the new EBC sintered brake pads in. And that's what I'm doing on the rear now. Okay, let me come and show you what we're doing back here, guys. Okay, so here's a little tip. When these original brake pads were getting down pretty thin. They're not compromised yet, but the piston was out about a half an inch. So what I do is I put the bracket back in, and I just mount this. I just put the nut on the end just to hold it from falling off. And now the caliper is pinned in here. And then you take the original the old brake pads, and you just leave them in place. And then you can use a screwdriver, and you can pry against the old brake pad, and you can force the piston back in the closed position. And it takes some force to do that. But since this is all temporarily mocked up, you have all the leverage right here. You just go boom, and you can just gently force that piston back in, collapse the piston. Okay, that way you're not doing it and you're fighting it and all that stuff, because basically what it's being held in position. Okay, so here are the rotor bolts, and look at all that Loctite. They put all this Loctite on here from the factory. Now I've seen guys, they take this onto a wire wheel and they buzz all that Loctite off. Well, what that also does is that strips off all the coating, all the finish from the factory finish. I don't know if this is chrome or nickel or whatever, but now you've stripped all that off, and then it's susceptible to rusting. So what I do is I just take the bolts and I throw them in my ultrasonic cleaner. Okay? And the ultrasonic cleaner I use Simple Green, and I use diluted with water. And I crank up the temperature setting up to like 50 Celsius. And I just let these things run in there for like a half an hour. I put all the nuts and bolts, everything in, all of this crap goes into the ultrasonic cleaner. And the ultrasonic cleaner cleans down inside these threads, and it dissolves the Loctite, and these things come out shining, sparkling clean. Okay? I did that on all of the hardware on the front. All of these hardwares I stuck in my ultrasonic cleaner, and what it does is the ultrasonic cleaner gets down inside all the nooks and crannies and cleans the hell out of it. Okay? And you don't have to spin it up on a wire wheel and destroy the finish. Okay, so that's another little trick I got for you guys. And then over here, of course I cleaned the wheel. I took off the old rotor. And then I'm going to get inside here. The bearings are in excellent condition. There's not even a lot of extra grease or anything, grime or anything on this rear wheel. And then on this side, I'm going to pull the cush drive out, and I'm going to inspect it and clean it, and I'm going to give it a coating of the Meguiar's Tire Shine, because that will recondition that hard rubber. So that'll go back together pretty simple. But anyways, we got Speed 4, and then on the Daytona we have Red Rocket, and I just ordered another custom license plate for my Himalaya, and that completes all of my custom license plates for all my bikes. And I even have a custom license plate on my F-150. Because I love Sanford and Son, I got Sanford and Son for my F-150. Because Fred Sanford, he owned an F1. I think it was a 1948 F1. The red one, the red truck that they used to drive. Anyways. But all of my old cars that I have all have the original black and yellow license plates. Even my Mustang down here. It's hard to see. But even my Mustang has the original black and yellow license plate. Anyways. Okay, Red. So that's what we're doing here, guys. I'll check back in with you guys in a little bit after I get this all put back together and take it out for a test drive. Oh, since I've got this all apart, I'm going to take off the rear tire hugger and get in here and clean and degrease and wipe down the swing arm and get everything back in tip-top shape. So, all right, we'll check back in with you guys in a little bit. This is the head. Big Cold-blooded dummy signing out. Red, are we signing out?
Yeah, Daddy, signing out till later, dummy.
Okay, later, Gators. Okay, guys. Let me show you quickly. So this is my ultrasonic cleaner. Okay, it's pretty decent size. It's not super huge, but it's not small. So this is all the parts, for all the hardware. And if you notice, look at these look at the clips for these for the brake pads. See how nasty they are? And those are stainless steel. Okay, and I'm gonna throw in these are the old brake pads because I always keep all my old brake pads in case I ever need to collapse a piston. I can just swap out the brake pads with these old ones, and then I can collapse the piston, and then I can pull the old ones out, and then I can put new ones back in. So always keep your old brake pads, and I just throw them in here to clean them so that way they're not all nasty. But anyways, here is the Simple Green solution that I've got. And this has been this is pretty dirty. It's been run from last night. But I buy the big 2.5 gallon jug of Simple Green. I get this at Home Depot. And you don't have to, you just mix it up, maybe a cup for all this water. And I'm going to run these through using the old solution. And then I'll drain this all out and I'll put new solution in, and then I'll finish cleaning this. But anyways, I just wanted to show you that, guys. Okay, it's the next day. Okay, hi guys. Hey Red, what are we doing today?
Oh, we're gonna finish up this project, Dad.
Okay guys, I'll give you a quick update. So last night, Red, hold on. What do you want? Okay, come here. Okay guys, so last night we got all this torn apart. We got the rear hugger off, and we have the chain rub, the rubbing block. It was all, it's like brittle, it's like hard, and it broke. So I ordered a new one, but the tire hugger was held on by sticky tape along this edge here. Had some sticky tape on it, and then it had some little brackets and some screws. So I went and got some Gorilla Tape, And then I'm gonna put the I'm gonna glue the rubbing block back together and put some tape on it just so I can get it back on the bike so I can move the bike around. And then when the new rubbing block comes, I'll install the new one. Okay, let me show you over here. So the rear wheel is all back together with the new rotor back in there. And then let me show you. So the Cush drive was in great shape, and I just cleaned everything real good, and I put some Meguiar's tire shine on the rubber Cush drive just to give it some just to recondition it. But everything inside here is perfect, no issues at all. Let me put this back on here. And when I first took off the rear sprocket carrier, it was tight because everything inside there was all dry and just so it's a good idea when you take your rear wheel off to pull the Cush drive out and inspect it and give it some conditioner. So anyways, all right, it's time to get this time to get the Speed 4 back together and get it back on the ground. All right, this is the head. Big, cold-blooded dummy signing out. Red, are we signing out?
Yeah, Daddy, signing out. Later, all you little gators out there.
Oh, hey, little dummies. I wanted to also show you guys, the big dummy got himself a Rabaconda tire changer. Okay? Because the dummy's got too many tires and it sucks doing it manually. So I invested in this tire changer machine and it works awesome. Now there's a little bit of a learning curve to it, but once you get the basics down, this thing is amazing. So anyways, I just wanted to throw that in there. Rabaconda tire changer. Hey, all you little dummies out there. I got another little update on the Speed Quadruple. Red, are we going to do an update?
Yeah, Daddy, do that big old damn update, you dummy.
Okay, guys, so we got everything back together last night. So this is the third day of the project. When I tightened down the rear axle, as soon as I tightened it down, I got in here and I tried to spin the wheel, and look at how close. Look at the gap right there. How close that is with the bracket. Hang on, let me see if I can focus that. Okay, so what happened is it comes around and it hits the rotor bolt right there and it stops. Okay, so let me show you. This is the rotor bolt that came originally on the Speed 4, and it has like it has a chrome finish to it, and it has a higher dome. Okay, this is the rotor bolt. This rotor bolt here, I took this off of the Daytona, and it has it's a stainless steel bolt, and it has a lower profile, the dome, and it clears. Okay, it doesn't hit, but when you come around to the the factory rotor bolt on the Speed 4, it hits it and it won't go any further. So then I looked at the this is the original rotor from the Speed 4, and if you notice, you see how deep that is cut? That is cut a lot deeper than the disc on this aftermarket disc. This aftermarket disc is not cut as deep. So then I started thinking, let me go show you on the Daytona. Okay, let me show you on the Daytona. So the Daytona has the Galfer rotor, and it's cut shallow. It's cut shallow, just like the rotor on the rear rotor on the Chinese rotor on the Speed 4. It's also cut shallow. So that tells me that the rotor bolts for the Daytona is the rotor bolt that I'm going to have to use on the Speed 4. So anyways, I ordered another set of rotor bolts. I don't know if you can see inside there, but this has a very, as it comes around, there's not a lot of clearance there. Obviously this one clears. There it is. But there's very little room. Very little margin of error. So anyways, guys, that's what we're doing. We had to order another set of rotor bolts. So all right, we'll do another update once oh, and we're still waiting for the chain block, the chain rubbing block. I put the old one back in. I glued it back together and just put it back in so that way I could roll the bike around. So, anyways, we're waiting for the new rubbing block and we're waiting for the new rotor bolts. All right, Red. Later, all you little gators out there.
Yeah, Daddy. Later, gators.